All right, good evening, everyone. This is the March 27, 2019 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being recorded, maybe for posterity, maybe not, but it can be viewed later on at the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Mr. Hrabowski, you're not recording us this evening, are you?
No, I'm shutting the phone off.
Okay, excellent. Having said that, the first item on tonight's agenda is the 7 p.m. public hearing. Stephen and Pamela Daniels request a determination for the installation of an above-ground pool at 7 Bridle Path. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote? Good evening.
I apologize, Commissioner, for 2 weeks ago missing the meeting. I was delayed at another meeting, didn't think it was going to take that long, but you know how conservation meetings might take long.
Not
I
ours.
just never got here.
Not
No, you move them right along, but there are some that...
I know,
Go on.
they linger.
You said this is new.
So we continued from 2 weeks before that, or to the meeting before, you wanted to take a look at the wetland line.
And we did. And while we did our inspection of the property, we noted that a shed had been put there. And I don't recall a shed ever being included by the homeowner. And I'm not, I don't know what your position is on the shed, but it seemed like it was awfully close to the wetland. And if they didn't file with us to put it up, they should have.
Okay.
So,
I'm not aware of those things, but I might note that the grass clippings that you might have, I'm not sure if you noticed the stuff that was put in the wetland where the driver's going to offer to remove, and now he's using the compost pile, since I got involved, behind the shed and in the upland instead of in the wetland. And it had been going on for years, and so I'm just making that as a positive note, hopefully that material under guidance can be removed and should be removed from the wetland.
okay.
And then I'll hear what you, if I could, what you're going to require of us on that shed.
Well, again, I don't recall ever seeing a filing or a request for determination for the construction of the shed at that property.
Right.
I can't even say how long it's been there, but it does look like, unlike some sheds which are just put on cinder blocks, and I do have some pictures, though unfortunately I did not get them to Ms. Conroy to print them.
Is this the one, the picture here? Is that?
Yes, it's the one on the right side.
Okay.
There are footings that were actually put into the ground, so the shed, I think, is intended to be a permanent structure.
Thank you.
Okay.
I can,
It's not on a sonotube, it's on a footing?
yeah.
Yeah, port footing.
Or
Yeah.
a port footing?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Foundation?
I didn't, again, because I don't,
Like a
I didn't
slab?
question it.
Yeah, I mean,
It-
like
it-
the whole
there's a
thing, yeah,
chunk
it's
of
not just
upland
a
that he
couple
had
of
on that side
sonotubes.
of the
That's why I
lot.
was kind of shocked, because it's so
Yeah,
close to the...
and it looks like a concrete slab.
It's basically probably closer than 17 foot where the pool's going. It was like right there, huh? It really was.
So it's actually, it looks like there are two sheds. There's the
Yeah.
big red structure, and then right next to it is
A
the,
portable aluminum type of thing.
but it's on a concrete platform.
I didn't check to
That's
see if they ever
definitely
did file previously, but
Because the original project was '06.
Right.
Cullinan's plan, in fact, we cited the as-built from Cullinan's plan, and Cullinan's as-built never showed a shed on it in '06.
So my thought, Mr. Kravosky, is that the homeowner probably went in, installed the shed without thinking about the need to file with us.
Right.
So we will have to discuss that amongst ourselves later on.
Okay.
I think I know what your arguments are. You contend this is a minor project, and as such that a notice of intent is not required. And so I think, again, correct?
Not that a notice of intent couldn't be required, it's just that a minor project can be deemed that it doesn't fall under the bylaw. Even if it went under the state law, you could require a notice of intent.
And the problem I think we have is that, if memory serves me, I think, and correct me if I'm mistaken, doesn't some portion of the pool come within 25 feet of the wetland?
It's 17.
Yeah, so I think my feeling is that if we did require a notice of intent, the reason would be in order to grant a waiver to our requirement, allowing work within 25 feet of the woodland area. So I think, again, we're going to discuss that among ourselves.
Yes, sir.
I think we have a clear idea of what the site looks like. Haven't gone out there. We've had other but we've had other filings from homeowners on Bridle Path. So I think we're pretty familiar with the area.
Might I say that my flags were only a couple feet behind the Cullinan flags, which I put I put the colored flags back, you probably saw a couple of them directly, and that the client can move that pool closer to the house. So I don't want to, he is away, but clearly we could easily make 20 feet and not 17 from the colored
But
flags.
can you make it 25 feet?
Well, that I don't know how close he gets, because he, whatever his worry is about having above, that thing and then breaking and whatever it does to the house if it broke and flooded towards the
Well,
house.
let me ask you this. So we can do one of two things. We can either close the public hearing tonight, or if you would like to have the opportunity to consult with your client and see if they can move the pool out of the 25-foot area.
I mean, I'd like to just put on record that they kind of took up their impervious area close to a wetland by their ginormous shed. And,
Just the slab, yeah.
I mean, if they
But
hadn't done,
it's your call. I mean, we can either close tonight, or we can continue it
Yeah.
to see if you want to consult with them.
I just as soon as consult with them and leave it open, and if we did attain 25 feet, do you think that it would then be it's a board vote. It's a board vote, I understand.
Absolutely.
But 25 feet, if we were going forward with, if there was that potential, it only would make sense for us to continue for a couple more weeks to potentially get
Okay.
That would,
this negative.
if it was at 9 feet from the house, that would put it at 25 exactly, but I don't know if there is a code as far as how far a pool has to be from the house.
And they have
It's
a,
above ground pool, right, so,
I mean, I've seen above ground pools that come right up of a
yeah,
deck.
a very
Yeah,
small area,
yeah.
decking
So
out a
I'm not
patio
aware
door,
of any,
sure, sure.
Zoning requirement or bylaw. So.
We would also entertain that, if you saw my wetland flags, there's those white ashes, multi-floor rows, there's, I'm not sure who were the ones who did flag this before, but my flags are 2 to 3 feet beyond what was the delineation out here. And these flags weren't available to me when I flagged. So once we had to locate them as the as-built, I put them back out. But if we went to show my flags, and they were 3 feet further back, there would be then a question. And we removed all the lawn clippings, which maybe you missed, and created a compost pile, clearly, which I have already directed him, because after I told him that I saw more, and he said it was his neighbor, I said, I don't care if it's your neighbor, it's your property.
Right.
So then he stopped. So I would offer to remove any fill material that was put out there beyond the Cullinan flags. And then we'll address that shed as a separate matter. Obviously, you're going to see what you're going to require of us.
Right. Okay.
And we'll have some dates from him on the date of that shed, too.
All right. Yeah, that would be
If
helpful.
that helps.
I could check with the assessors too, they should have it,
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
possibly.
That's showing where it is now.
Thank you.
I can check too, I said, I don't know if he ever filed either.
From the wetland, from
Yeah.
the house,
He might have
17 feet,
filed.
right to the pool, so
I remember
Well, we
seeing
can use aerial files, but he must have the date when he put it in there. I mean, I go there for a pool, I didn't question the shed.
If the shed's 200 square feet or less, he does not need a building permit, but he has to conform to the setbacks. And, if it's a
20 by
10-foot
10.
side setback and 20 from the rear is normally what.
So,
So thank you for that 200 square feet, because we'll look at that also as a setback off the property line.
Yeah, I'm not sure
oh,
what
he's
zone
got
this
plenty of
is.
lot.
If it's
He's
what,
got
say that
space.
again, Sheila, if it's 200 square feet?
If it's 200 square feet or less, he does not need a building permit. However, it does have to conform to the setbacks of the lot,
Okay.
of the zoning area,
So-
which I'm not
Okay,
sure what
thank
this
you.
is.
Zoning, thank you.
I'm looking at our agenda, proposed agenda for April 10th, and it looks like the next meeting time would be 7:30.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of,
April 10th, thank you. Thank you. There was that other issue of Diamond. I don't know if that was ever, I didn't see it on the
but
agenda.
it wasn't on this agenda, but it was on the last one.
I have an issue with diamond.
And then
Yeah.
I did not put it on the new one.
Yes, we had a question about that.
Yes, there was an order of conditions issued back,
Recorded?
apparently for some house, and it was never, possibly when he was buying those initial houses, and it's not recorded. And what we are asking, and we do this probably every 3 to 4 months, we see him. We ask that the commission reissue it, even if it's expired, and we'll record it, and then we'll ask for a certificate.
Well, which one?
Which one?
Talking about Faith Ave, right? Oh, it's talking-
It's on this, which one? It's right, we sent it over. Here it is. It's DP, file number
Code
98,
706.
684. not recorded,
Oh,
600 relying denial. No, the 0706 was the denial order, and DEP even told us, don't record anything until, if it's a denial order, until you see if it gets appealed and you win it. She's the one that, I don't know if you read what I had written on this matter.
I'm sure I did.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I didn't know if you got it. So, I mean, we can, the denial order was not the question here for us. It was something that occurred, wasn't recorded, was removed, and then there was another. There's 6 different orders on this property that had come along over the years. We just wanted to clean up the house so that
Yeah,
there'd be a
that's right.
paper trail for the removal of the house and then the closing of the removal of the house.
What's the property address?
I got it
Do you
right
know?
here. I got it right here.
It's 980684. It's where the service facility is now.
It's a Faith
It just
Ave.
has Faith
Oh,
Ave, it
Faith
doesn't
Ave.
have a
Faith
number,
Ave.
it just has all
They did 2
parcel
houses on
numbers.
Faith Ave, right?
Right, one of them was next to that intermittent flow that
Right.
Margaret identified,
Yes.
not with any BBW. It was just a flow path leading from a BBW through the backyard. Ecotech was involved with it. There was non-hydric soils under it.
What we'll have to do is because you don't have a street address, we'll have to pull the 2 files and see which
I've got
one.
the order here.
44,
Do you?
40,
Yeah.
Yes,
40-something, 40.
Let me see what else I-
Glenn submitted that order.
Yes, there you go. The order comes with it.
Good to have a slip.
We ended up tracking it down because Wetland NOI project information will show you everything that goes through DEP. And it goes back quite a few years. So it's an interesting point to go to. When you think something was issued and you can't find anything, DEP will have a record of it going through their office, online. So we found it that way.
Okay. We'll take it under advisement.
All right, and the way and there's a couple of other certificates that we could ask for at this point, closing out projects that are superseded by the latest order of conditions that allowed for the road building. So there were old orders, which one were they? That had to do with Cullinan Engineering, with the slap on the wrist and requiring them to replicate some wetlands, 575 square feet. And then there was the Ecotech HS&T order conditions, which was never closed out. But we incorporated both those replication areas into our replication area that
Yeah.
you finally approved. So they're superseded by what we now have for a total replication area. So I'll explain that more in detail.
Yeah,
Right
that
now, we're
was
just
very
going for the
confusing,
reissuing.
Yeah.
And obviously, and by the end of this year, we would hope to close all projects out
Right.
with him. The road is ready to continue that replication area now that the spring is hit, and wrap it up, make sure that the channels are made down on the eastern end of the site,
They're still
finished
working on
off.
it.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
See you at the
So
next
we
meeting.
need a motion to continue.
Okay.
Make a motion, we continue the public hearing to April 10th, 2019
I've got
at
7:20.
7:20 PM.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote?
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, Glenn, I hope you're feeling better.
You too.
Take it
Thank you
easy.
very
Yeah.
much. Thank you.
7:20.
So I assume that it must have been continued.
You are Mrs. Rabani?
No, actually, I'm a friend of Daryl's. I live at the house too, but
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that they initially wanted to wait until April.
yeah.
Because
I
they
know
had to
we
get new
finally did get
plans
some
done.
progress with the
Yeah.
neighbor and changing the line and stuff, so.
Yeah.
I just wasn't,
Oh, okay.
Daryl wasn't sure either. He said, I don't know if we got it continued or
Did
not.
we get
Yeah.
Well, Sheila, did you get a request?
Um,
Because you have it on the agenda for April 10th.
yeah.
Yep.
I
April
do, I
10th?
know.
Okay. I
I
just
think I
wasn't-
might have just moved it over, and I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have had it on here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they wanted to wait till April 10th, just because they had to go to planning board, and they
Yeah.
had to get new
Right.
plans, and they'll have to submit to us that new plan,
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
too.
I just wanted, I wasn't
You're all
sure,
set.
so.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Thank
Well,
you.
it looks
Thank
like
you.
you guys have a light night anyway. Nobody else is here, so.
That's
Good
true.
night.
Thank you.
Mark your game on.
Okay, and then the 7:15 public hearing for ZPT Energy Solutions has been continued
Yes.
by the request of the applicant to April 10th as well. Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the continuance to April 10th, 2019 for ZBT Energy Solutions LLC,
It's gonna be scheduled for
second that.
7:15.
7:15.
Okay, is there a second?
Second that.
there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, a vote? Okay.
So when people record the deeds, do we get a record of it?
Yes. Record the orders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Record the orders.
They usually always bring them back.
Except in this
But
case,
would
they
you-
didn't.
Right,
Yeah.
so like, how do we have it so that we notice that that didn't come in?
Yeah.
Well, in this case, you know, that's a really good question.
Maybe like an Excel spreadsheet or something?
I think it would be,
Yeah.
that's a good
I can
idea.
do stuff, you know,
Yeah,
as
do
we're
that.
talking during meetings and stuff.
Yeah.
you know. We just kind of have to get it
But,
started.
I mean, I recall, this was, we spent a lot of time on this. And,
I know what the zoning board and that, they do not allow the building permits or anything to be issued if someone has to get a variance until it is recorded. They can have their application in for the building, but they cannot obtain it until they've brought in a stamped Worcester Registry of Deeds.
Oh, wow.
recorded.
let's see, we don't have that leverage because we
Yeah.
don't issue a permit, we just issue the
Right.
order of conditions. I mean, what we could, and we can talk about this, maybe impose a requirement, you know, a certain deadline. And then if, you know, we have the ability to find applicants, and not that we want to do that necessarily, but if someone, I mean, in this particular case, the applicants certainly knew. We've had issues with this site for dozens of years, or at least a dozen years, going back, I think, to the early 2000s, so,
With all that flooding that I drove through on that street, I just.
Oh, yes.
so, all right. The other matter we have is to issue the amended order of conditions for 33 Sword Street. And we were awaiting receipt of the operation and maintenance plan, which
Which
we
we have.
did receive.
Is there anything in here I couldn't quite get through it all that says that they will submit stuff to us regularly? Or can they have these inspection logs or maintenance logs turned in once a year? Or, I don't know.
I mean, we typically do not ask applicants to do that.
There's just no check and balance.
Well, the problem is that other cities
You know,
or
this is a
towns
standard template, you said you could do this in 5 minutes.
understood. What I was going to say is that other cities and towns have a conservation agent that can act as an enforcement capacity, and we do not have that capability. We can certainly, though, ask them to turn in inspection and maintenance logs. We can make that as a condition.
I don't know, just might make them,
Oh, 15 swords, 15 hardscrabble, they're
They submit, right?
regularly
Yeah,
submitted.
they do.
Yeah.
Who do
Yes,
they
they
submit
do,
it to, the
right.
Board of Health, or to
No,
just
to
to the
us.
town?
Yeah.
To us?
us, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they
we
did.
just got the second one from
You
them.
just did that, Walsh.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I gave you a copy.
You did somewhere.
Did I give
I
everybody
saw
a
one
copy?
somewhere.
I specifically
I
wanted
got
you
it
to
in
have
email.
one.
You did?
but I
Yeah.
can-
Good.
Is this it right here? No, no.
No, that's
No,
not
no,
it.
no.
I don't see,
know I
I don't
had
see
it.
any reason why we couldn't put that in as a special condition.
We can.
Yeah,
Yes, we can.
absolutely.
Can we do-
Just because we know there's been issues there before.
And so the problems that we saw out there, trying to remember,
The pro-
Tires.
it didn't
There's
seem
a
like
lot
it
of-
was this side's fault, right? These guys were,
They split the lot,
They split the lot,
Right.
and it was the owner of the adjacent lot that,
31.
yes, that had the issue with the snow. And actually, it was absolutely an issue, because when they pushed the snow back, they also disturbed the silt fence and the erosion
Yes.
control measures.
Yep.
Okay.
Having said that, the siltation and erosion control measures at 31 Sword Street were not in great condition either.
No, they need
Yeah.
to be.
And we talked about issuing an enforcement order actually to both of them.
They go back
I'm
the
still
fence.
getting confused which is which. So 33 was the
33 is
one-
on the
First
right.
one.
On the right, yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
looking at the
31's on the
back.
left.
So 33 was the one doing the bad plowing.
Right.
But
Yes.
Although I'm sure if I was their lawyer, I'd tell them to deny it. But I don't know who was doing the plowing, but it's, in all seriousness.
where was that
I drove through there
concrete
after a
wall?
snowstorm,
Concrete
and it
barrier.
was
Yeah.
piled up.
Stuff
The
like
31
that.
had rolled back the fence, right?
Not a very elegant way to divide and show
31 had the fence
the
roll.
property line.
No, no, that's
Just
the furthest one.
destroying
That's
So,
at 35.
native
Why don't we do
wetlands.
first things first then, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
With respect to the proposed change for 33 Rochdale, the work that's being proposed does not have a wetland impact. as I recall. So I think in terms of amending the order of conditions, I would amend it to include the new plan, the newest plan. But I think to reiterate, and as you've kind of repeated, I think it's within our rights, we can ask them to, and I think we did it actually in the original order, to clean out all the debris in the wetland area, including tires, wooden pallets, any
Yeah.
other materials.
By hand.
Yeah, I
Yep.
thought they were going to do that when they did their plantings.
Right, and they may,
I
then,
mean, it certainly
Uh-huh.
wouldn't hurt to put it in there.
They may need to restore the wetland on this neighboring parcel at this point.
so, with respect to the erosion control measures, I mean, I think we can go about this in one of two ways. We can send them a letter telling them that based on our inspection, the erosion control measures have been disturbed and need to be reestablished. So we can do it that way, ask them to do it on a voluntary basis, or we can send enforcement orders. So is there a preference on how you want to proceed? With the understanding,
Sending a letter.
I'm sorry, to complete my thought, that if they don't reestablish the erosion control measures within, say, 2 weeks, we will then issue an enforcement order.
I like that.
And also
I'd
to
like to see
notify
it.
us when they do it, so we can just go by and just take a
Yeah.
look at it.
Right.
What about not
When it's
issuing the
completed.
order?
And that would be for both 31 and 33.
Send a
Could we
letter.
not
then.
issue the amended order?
The problem is that
Yeah, I forget what the...
we closed the public hearing now, and so
So we need to.
if we have to issue,
Okay.
no, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I think they're separate issues.
Sure.
What are they proposing again? Do you mind reminding me?
So it's 31 and 33,
Yep.
both need corrections on the
Need to
silt
clean up.
fence.
That's right.
Right.
Erosion, okay.
What 33 wants to basically square out the lot,
Oh, that's right. So they
Yep.
want a little bit of pavement on one side.
but it has no
Yeah.
wetland impact.
It was that, right. There wasn't anything we couldn't find.
So, does someone want to take a shot at a motion?
I make a motion
Go ahead.
that we issue,
Send a letter.
Well, let's do the amended
There you
order
go.
of conditions
Yep.
first.
the amended order of conditions,
And I don't think
33 South Street.
you don't have to go through the whole thing because there is already the order of conditions that we issued for
Right.
33.
Okay.
The only thing I
So the
think,
same special conditions will apply plus the
right,
Everything that's in the
okay,
original
previous
order of conditions,
special
with the added
conditions.
special condition
Yeah,
that this is for 33 now, we'll
Yes.
talk about 31 as well,
Yeah.
that when all the work is done, that we can, to let us know so we can go do a re-inspection at the end of it.
and how about also that they provide us with copies of their inspection log and their maintenance log
Got that?
annually?
Annually.
They know this, right? They already, they know
Yeah.
that.
Now, if I recall, I mean, one of our standard conditions, special conditions, is that there's no snow storage.
Right, and they
Okay,
have
and they-
that spelled out.
we did that.
Right, and so, in terms of the letters to go out to, for the letter to 33, okay, and this is first of all, if that's your motion, is there a second?
No, I'm sorry, but
I'll
don't they
second
need
that.
to...
I'll second
Hold on.
that.
But they asked us to approve them keeping snow there. They were going to remove it within 24 hours.
Basically.
That's what, right, that's what they have on the last page of this one here
And
before
that's
the,
something else
Right,
that
right.
maybe we could, I don't know how to, if they want to give us receipts of their snow pickup or anything like that, but
we could ask them
Have
to
to
notify us after a snowstorm when
Right.
it's been removed and somebody can drive by there, I mean,
That's not
that's,
gonna-
No.
It's not going
It's
to
not
happen.
gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. We don't want you.
No, it
Yeah,
sounds
I don't know, it does sound good, doesn't it?
Until you say it out loud, and then it doesn't sound.
No, it doesn't, really, nah.
but isn't that one of the
That's killed it.
amendments we have to make, that we allow them to keep snow there
We
as
don't
long
have-
as they remove
No,
it
We don't
within
have to
24
allow
hours?
them to do that.
Nope,
We can say no.
no.
Okay.
Well, why don't we put that in a special condition? As it's mentioned in their maintenance, the snow needs to be removed within 24 hours at the end of a storm.
Okay.
All right.
Because then it's set in our condition, not just in their,
Right.
what they submitted to us.
Okay, so Sheila, do you have that?
The snow is to be removed within 24 hours.
In addition to, yeah, that's,
And I might even say failure to comply with this condition may result in the imposition of fines.
Ta-da.
But we are allowing it within 100 foot?
Well, that's what they're asking for. I mean,
Yeah, no, I
because
just wanna
because of
clarify.
the way the lot's been bisected now, it's actually fairly narrow. And so
Right.
there's not a lot of room
There's no
for snow
room
storage.
except right there, which I understand. They just have to be responsible about it. So
Right.
that's...
I'm curious if they're gonna leave those big cement blocks, how they, whatever's
I-
going on in the
my
divide.
sense is
They're
that-
obviously fighting.
Oh,
That's an
absolutely.
issue between
Right.
31 and 32.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and let's not get involved.
No,
in
no,
that.
no.
No, that's
So
right.
were we adding the maintenance and operation to that amended order?
The first one, my motion was the original order, plus the standard order, plus the special conditions already submitted, with
From
added
before,
conditions
yeah.
of, let us know when all the cleaning out of the wetland and all
Okay.
the stuff is in place so we can inspect it.
Okay.
Within 24 hours.
Okay.
And then the second one is to submit this maintenance plan
All
yearly
right.
to the town.
It's all
To us.
33?
Maintenance inspection.
Maintenance
logs.
inspection logs.
Yearly? Is that how often they do
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Maintenance and operation, okay.
And then snow storage.
And
is
then the
allowed.
snow
And then the
storage.
third one, yep,
Okay.
snow removed within 24 hours at the
Snow
end of the
must be
storm.
removed within
Yeah.
24 hours. Failure to
Fit-
comply will result in,
Fines.
may result in the imposition
Days and
of
fines,
fines.
yeah. Fines may,
Imposition of fines.
Okay.
Okay,
That's his motion. Is there a
that's my
second?
motion.
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
Hey, did you have one of these?
Now, with respect to the letters,
I got them checked off.
I'd actually think the
Usually
letters
ones
can
every
be,
time.
pretty much be the same. That I would reference by saying upon a recent inspection, we went out 2 weeks ago, right? 2 Saturdays ago. What day was that?
9.
No,
Oh,
it
I
was
remember.
Saturday.
So the areas
It
to the
was-
left
The
of the
ninth?
snow piles
No.
were
That was the
also
16th.
bad.
16th, and then last week was, yep,
Right,
okay.
is that what you guys saw?
The
That the erosion
16th?
control beyond the snow piles was bad even.
Yeah.
And then the snow
And
pile
last one
got
was
wrecked.
Upon inspection of, and it's the same letter, you're just swapping out the address.
Gotcha.
Upon inspection of the property at blank Sword
Yeah.
Street, we observed that erosion control measures had deteriorated until work is completed. The erosion control measures must be reestablished within 2 weeks? Within 14 days?
Prior to any work?
14.
Well, just within 14
Okay,
days
all right.
of receipt of the letter. Failure to comply may result in the issuance of an enforcement order.
Okay.
Do you think that
You said that
when
differently.
33
Okay.
was separated or bought, that they took responsibility for the wetland restoration part that was on there?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
So both of them need to get letters,
That's-
31
that's the
and
question,
32.
though.
But like 33 is responsible for wrecking 31's wetland, so do
Possibly.
we?
No,
not
I
necessarily, no.
disagree. I think
don't know.
there was a problem with the wetland before the
Oh,
property was
yeah,
sold.
it's messed up
Yeah.
before.
You know, we
But they
can,
they literally just pushed all their snow right into
but
the
that's,
wetlands.
that was different though.
That was-
There was the wetland area was deteriorated, there was debris in there before.
Yeah.
Before that happened.
Looked at
They
it.
made major improvements with that riprap that you saw.
I'll send you
was-
that letter before I send it
Yeah.
out.
It looked at, yeah.
Okay, so,
We'll let them work it out.
will someone make a motion for the letters?
I make a motion to accept the letters to 31 and 33 Sword
Okay.
as Michael dictated.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote? Okay.
Good, good.
Sheila, I could not open the meeting minutes for the last meeting,
Okay,
so as a result, I didn't look at them,
oh,
okay?
I don't know.
okay. You mean
For March 13th,
oh, okay.
because those are the ones you sent this afternoon, right?
Well, I didn't get those.
No.
No, I didn't send them.
Was
No,
that,
we just got the,
That was just the agenda.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
an
it was just
agenda.
the-
I didn't get any, no, I
Confusing
had no.
me, I'm like, I didn't see any minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't see any
I
minutes
don't,
of
I don't
mine.
remember doing them.
then in that case, there's no issue.
There's no
All right,
issue.
there you go. No issues here.
Okay,
Yeah, it was just an agenda to make sure everyone remembered the meeting, because I couldn't remember if I sent them.
just a
it.
reminder, if you haven't done your conflict of interest training, to get it
Coming
done
up.
by
Yeah.
April
Did it.
10th, so
Yeah.
Done.
How do we do that again?
you go online, State Ethics Commission,
It takes about an
Yeah.
hour. It's not very,
Max.
it's pretty common sense.
Yeah.
and it's, you have to do it every 2 years.
You can't get it right.
With respect to Alfred and Blaker Street, I actually want to go back and take another look because I'm still not clear on where the work's being done. You'll recall that we went there about 2 weeks ago and we saw there was an excavator on site. I actually believe that the work that Bill Coyle was complaining about, or the violation, was on the other side of the property. So if we're standing looking in the front, it was in the back to the left.
Oh,
We could
I
not
thought it
see
was,
that,
I
okay.
thought, my understanding was to the back to the right where we could see that ledge, but it's definitely,
No, it's
we couldn't access it without going through this. It would
So,
have been,
I actually,
This
I
is
sent
back.
I sent Mr. Crowell an email, and I asked him whether, what the planning board intended to do, if they were going to take any action. So I think that's still an open issue.
Okay.
It's something I think I'd like to take another look at. And then with regard to 498 Rochdale Street, I have not heard from
Yeah, I'll try calling her
our
again.
friends at DEP.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
Isn't
that means.
Crazy?
Well, it's not crazy. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. Well, is it normal for them not, I've never really dealt with them except for that one project up on Prospect, which I think the commission was there with them when they were doing the inspection, but I've never,
So I don't know
is
if...
that normal for them not to get back to you?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to try, I'll get...
Maybe we could contact one of the other people that we
Well,
know.
I mean, it's Megan Selby is responsible for it. I will certainly send her an email. I'll try to do it tomorrow, asking her what, if anything, they've done. And then, you know what? They may decline jurisdiction. If they decline jurisdiction, send it back to us, and we have the ability to fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So that's something else to
Yeah.
keep in mind.
I was wondering, do we ever meet with the planning board to kind of do
Never.
like a meeting of
since
the
I've
minds
Nope,
or?
never.
kind of-
And
Not since I've been here.
I've been on Conservation Commission since 1995, and I think we had one joint meeting.
And we
Okay.
don't have a solar bylaw, that's right?
They're working, well,
Yeah.
they've got it, oh, wait a minute, they did put it in, we're waiting for the Attorney General to do something
approve.
with it.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
Matt
that-
did, right?
Is that what
already-
Matt's doing?
Yeah,
Right,
right.
Matt,
Well, Matt's not doing it now.
he's not
It's-
working on it now.
Yeah, it's put into the
He was working on it.
Adam Menard.
I guess what I'm wondering is, because when I was out at the site with Andrea and we were looking at her plans for the solar array,
Yeah.
they're literally doing the one thing that stuck out the most in my mind with the DEP when they were going over the SMART program, the things that they've seen that they've had issues with, and they basically have their panels going straight down the hill. And I said, well, it really doesn't seem like that's a great idea considering the slope out here. It's really steep out there. There's no topsoil or, it's very close to ledge. And they're going to basically create all these preferred pathways. And you look outside, you see any of these solar arrays, and all the snow is slumped into one thing, never mind the rain that drips off in one spot. And then you have the spots under the solar panels that are in a row that are not getting as much rain or light, whatever. So, I didn't know, so my problem is that she pointed out that it was not in our jurisdiction if it's not within, it's not.
Within 100 feet of
Right.
wetlands.
Yeah.
So, what do we do about that? How do we work together better?
You can always just, as a resident, send a letter to the planning board.
The question is, though,
Or
will the
if you
planning
want-
board, does the solar bylaw give them jurisdiction to act on these issues? I
really
don't know the answer.
Who
To be
does
quite
get
honest with you, I haven't
jurisdiction?
even read the
I don't know.
bylaw.
We don't know that.
Well, they have jurisdiction over the plan, of course, but the question
Something
is,
You
Can
can
you
always
email?
contact the planner.
Yeah.
What would be the effects of that in a heavy rain event, like a 25-year
Right.
storm
You're just
or
going
a
to create
50-year?
all these
Right, that's,
channels that are going to go
but
straight
if we
down.
were to do that, then why wouldn't, that could be under our jurisdiction technically if,
Right.
so,
Right.
At that
No, I think
time.
there's some leeway there, and I think obviously they want to please us, so that, but just adding, if it goes across, it just adds all those little things that just slow
Right.
the
Yeah.
energy of the water and all the erosion.
well, we could insist that they install drains on the property. That'll only increase the cost of the project by maybe a couple of $1 million.
Well, no, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard to just reorient,
That's all.
but it's just the kind of things
Just
that,
saying.
Small
that
stuff.
they don't necessarily think about, and then,
I mean, I will say, I think they do think about these issues.
And like the wildlife separating, do we have any, can I make them put a break in the fence?
Yeah,
Can I-
oh, absolutely.
Can we make them?
yeah, absolutely.
certainly
That's
talk about it.
wildlife, yeah.
Because I really think the way that place is shaped, the way the property is shaped, they should just.
They should have
Try.
opens, yeah.
It's awful, yeah.
So, but, again, we can discuss, since it's not on our agenda tonight, we can
Right,
discuss
sorry.
that
When they,
next time when they next come
Yeah.
to see us.
So
Yeah.
Allison, you can contact Adam Menard anytime you But we're here on Monday nights, if that makes it easier for you, or
Adam's doing all the
it's just the regular number
Well, I feel
7704.
uninformed because I just don't know what their policies are. I
Yeah.
don't know how, I mean,
Yeah.
they seem great, you know, they
Yeah.
definitely get
I can
right.
send you the solar.
The bylaw?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
Okay.
Is there any other business? There being none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make the motion to adjourn?
I'll second
Is there a
that.
second?
No.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.